There's a Sunday morning you'll remember. The phone buzzes with an invitation, family gathering, old friends meeting, community event. Your coffee sits cooling in your favorite mug. Morning light slants through the window. And instead of the excitement you once felt, there's something else. A quiet resistance. A gentle pulling back. You stare at that message and think, when did I become someone who'd rather stay home? If you're over 70, you know this feeling. Maybe it arrived gradually, like fog rolling in. Or maybe it came suddenly, the day you realized you'd rather watch the birds at your feeder than make small talk at a crowded lunch. Either way, it's here. This preference for your own company. This desire to shrink your social circle. This pull towards silence. And here's what the world will tell you. You're isolating yourself. You're becoming lonely. You need to get out more. Stay connected. Fight this withdrawal. But what if they're wrong? What if this isn't withdrawal at all? What if it's arrival? What if after 70 years of navigating the noise of the world, you're finally coming home to yourself? The Buddha understood something about human nature that our modern culture often misses. He taught that wisdom doesn't always look the way we expect. Sometimes it looks like saying no. Sometimes it looks like closing the door. Sometimes it looks like choosing the quiet company of your own heart over the chaos of constant connection. Today, let's explore why your changing relationship with people isn't a problem to fix. It's wisdom emerging. Part 1. Your tolerance for nonsense drops to zero. Let me ask you something honest. How many conversations have you sat through in your life where you nodded politely while thinking about something else entirely? How many dinners where the talk circled around gossip, complaint, or topics so shallow you could see straight through to the bottom? Thousands, probably. Maybe tens of thousands. For decades, you did it. You smiled. You asked follow-up questions. You performed interest in subjects that drained your soul. Why? Because that's what people do. That's how society functions. You keep the peace. You maintain connection. You don't rock the boat. But something happens after 70. Your patience for pretending runs out. It's not that you've become mean or bitter, it's that you've become honest. After 7 decades of nodding through empty conversations, of biting your tongue to keep things smooth, of explaining yourself to people who weren't really listening anyway, something in you finally says, enough. The Buddha spoke often of right speech, one of the essential practices on the path to peace. But right speech isn't just about what we say, it's about why we say it. Are we speaking from truth or from fear? From genuine connection or from obligation? For most of your life, you spoke to please others, to avoid conflict, to be seen as agreeable, friendly, easy to get along with. These aren't bad motivations, but they exact a cost. Every time you speak words that don't match what's in your heart, you create a tiny fracture in your sense of self. Over 70 years, those fractures accumulate. I once heard about an elderly woman named Dorothy, 82, who stopped attending her book club after 15 years. When her friend asked why, Dorothy paused for a long moment. Then she said, I realized we don't actually talk about books. We talk around them. We gossip about the author's life or complain about the ending, but nobody ever says what they really felt. After all these years, I'm tired of dancing around the truth. Her friend was hurt. She thought Dorothy was judging them, but Dorothy wasn't judging anyone. She was simply protecting something precious, her remaining energy for authentic connection. This is what the Buddha meant by right speech as a spiritual practice. It's not about being harsh or cruel. It's about aligning your words with your truth. And sometimes the most aligned choice is silence. Think about the conversations that drain you most. Usually they share certain patterns, drama about situations you can't control, complaints without any interest in solutions, gossip that diminishes others to make the speaker feel bigger, advice you didn't ask for, opinions stated as universal truths. At 30 you might have engaged with all of it. At 50 you started picking your battles. At 70, you've learned that some battles aren't worth fighting because the other person isn't actually seeking truth. They're seeking validation for positions they've already chosen. And here's what nobody tells you: choosing not to engage isn't the same as giving up. It's wisdom. It's recognizing that your time and energy are finite resources that deserve to be invested carefully. There's an old Zen story about a master who stopped attending temple ceremonies. The younger monks whispered that he was losing his devotion. But one day, a student asked him directly, "Master, why do you no longer come to our gatherings?" The master smiled. "I have grown too honest for performance," he said simply. The student didn't understand, but ceremony brings us together. Isn't connection important? True connection, the master replied, happens when two people meet in honesty. Everything else is just noise wearing the costume of community. You're not becoming antisocial, you're becoming discerning. You're learning the difference between genuine connection and empty ritual, between conversations that nourish and conversations that deplete, between people who see you and people who simply want an audience. This isn't cruelty. This is self-preservation. This is finally, after 70 years, treating your own peace as sacred. So when you decline that invitation, when you let a phone call go to voicemail, when you choose an evening with a book over an evening with people who exhaust you, know this: you're not failing at connection, you're succeeding at honesty. And honesty, the Buddha taught, is the foundation of all genuine peace. Part 2. Your priorities have completely shifted. Remember when a full calendar felt like success? When being busy meant being important, wanted, needed? When the measure of a good week was how many places you'd been, how many people you'd seen, how little time you'd spent alone? That version of success probably served you once. It got you through the years of building, career, family, reputation, connections. A crowded life felt like a full life. But somewhere after 70, the equation flips. Now a full calendar doesn't feel like success. It feels like a sentence. Every commitment becomes a weight. Every invitation requires calculation. How much energy will this cost? How long will I need to recover? Is the joy worth the exhaustion? And increasingly, the answer is no. This shift bewilders people who haven't lived it yet. Your adult children might worry you're depressed. Friends might feel rejected when you decline. Society whispers that you're giving up, fading away, letting life pass you by. But here's what they don't understand. You're not giving up on life. You're finally claiming it. The Buddha taught about anicca, impermanence. Everything changes. The body changes. Relationships change. And yes, what we need from life changes too. This isn't failure. This is the natural rhythm of existence. Just as trees shed their leaves in autumn, just as rivers change course over time, you too are allowed to shift. The priorities that drove you at 40, achievement, recognition, staying relevant, these made sense then, but carrying them into your 70s is like wearing winter clothes in summer. They no longer fit the season you're in. What matters now? Simplicity, peace, genuine moments rather than crowded hours. One conversation that touches your soul versus 10 that skim the surface. The freedom to wake without obligation pressing on your chest. The luxury of following your own rhythm instead of dancing to everyone else's schedule. I think of Thomas, 76, who described this shift beautifully. For decades he'd been the organizer, planning reunions, coordinating gatherings, making sure everyone stayed connected. After his wife passed, people expected him to continue, but he didn't. I looked at my calendar one day, he told me, and realized I'd spent years building connection for everyone else. I'd never asked what kind of connection I actually wanted. He started saying no, not to punish anyone, but to make space for what called to him: morning walks, reading philosophy, sitting in silence, watching the seasons change through his window. His children worried, his friends felt abandoned, but Thomas had never been more at peace. I spent 70 years being available to everyone, he said. Now I'm finally available to myself. This is not selfishness. This is what Buddhists call right intention, aligning your life with what truly matters to your heart, not what others expect. The Dharma teaches us about non-attachment, but it's often misunderstood. People think it means not caring, becoming cold, disconnecting from others. But that's not it at all. Non-attachment means releasing your grip on old identities that no longer serve you. You were the social one. You were the life of the party. You were the person everyone could count on. These identities served their purpose. They helped you navigate certain seasons of life, but you don't have to carry them forever. Letting them go isn't becoming less. It's becoming more yourself. Think about how much energy those old roles required. The performance of it all, showing up even when your body ached, staying late even when exhaustion pulled at you, saying yes when everything in you wanted to say no, pretending enthusiasm you didn't feel, maintaining connections that had grown hollow but felt too old to release. All that effort, all that strain, and for what? At 70, you finally have permission to ask that question. For what? Not every relationship needs to be maintained. Not every tradition needs to continue. Not every expectation needs to be met. Your life is yours to shape, and if that means a quieter life, a smaller circle, more evenings at home, then so be it. The Buddha's final teaching to his disciples was simple: be a lamp unto yourself. Don't look to others to light your path. Don't wait for external validation to know you're living rightly. Find your own light. Follow it. For 7 decades, you've followed other people's lights: parents, teachers, employers, spouses, children, friends, society's expectations. You've been dutiful. You've been responsible. You've shown up. Now it's time to follow your own light. And if that light leads you toward quiet, toward solitude, toward fewer people and simpler days, trust it, because wisdom doesn't always look busy. Sometimes it looks like an empty calendar and a peaceful heart. Sometimes it looks like saying no without guilt. Sometimes it looks like choosing your own company over a crowd. This isn't the end of connection. It's the beginning of conscious connection. You're not closing your heart. You're opening it more carefully, letting in only what truly nourishes. And that, my friend, is not isolation. That's liberation. Part 3. Quiet grief shapes your social world. There's a kind of loneliness nobody talks about until you live it. It's not the loneliness of being alone. It's the loneliness of being the one who's left. The chair at your table that used to hold your best friend, it's been empty for 3 years now. The phone number you can't bring yourself to delete, even though calling it brings only silence. The inside jokes nobody else remembers because the person who shared them is gone. The stories you could tell, if anyone still cared to listen, about people who faded from this world. After 70, Loss becomes a constant companion. Not dramatic loss, always. Sometimes it's quiet. A friend moves across the country, another develops dementia and no longer knows your name. Someone you once saw weekly now only manages a call at holidays, if that. And yes, some die. More and more, as the years accumulate, the ones you love slip through the veil. Each loss reshapes your social landscape, and with each one, you become more careful about where you invest your remaining capacity for connection. The Buddha understood grief intimately. There's a story about a woman named Kisa Gautami who came to him carrying her dead child, begging for medicine to bring the boy back to life. The Buddha didn't tell her the child was gone forever. Instead, he gave her a task: go to every house in the village and bring me a mustard seed from any home that has never known death. She went from door to door. Every family welcomed her with compassion. Every family offered her mustard seeds. But when she asked if death had touched their home, every single one said yes. We lost a parent, we lost a child, we lost a spouse, a sibling, a friend. By the time Kisa Gautami returned to the Buddha, her arms were empty, but her understanding was full. Grief, she realized, is universal. Loss is woven into the very fabric of human existence. The Buddha hadn't given her medicine to restore her child. He'd given her the medicine of understanding. You are not alone in this suffering. But here's what the story doesn't always address. After you understand that everyone grieves, you still have to carry your own particular losses. You still wake up in a house too quiet. You still reach for the phone to call someone who won't answer. You still feel the ache of absence. And one of the ways we protect ourselves after repeated loss is by becoming more selective. Not because we don't care, because we care so much that we can't afford to care carelessly anymore. Think of it this way. When you're young, your heart is like new fabric, strong, resilient, able to handle rough treatment and bounce back. But after 70 years of loving and losing, that fabric shows wear. It's still beautiful, still capable of profound warmth, but it tears more easily now. It needs gentler handling. So you choose smaller circles. You guard your emotional space. You say no to situations that feel chaotic or draining, because you know bone deep that your capacity to recover isn't what it once was. This isn't fear. This is wisdom born from experience. Buddhism speaks of the second arrow. The first arrow is the pain of what happens, the loss, the grief, the absence. We can't control that arrow. But the second arrow is how we respond to the pain. Do we judge ourselves for hurting? Do we force ourselves into situations that reopen wounds? Do we pretend we're fine when we're still tender? The second arrow we can control when you choose to stay home instead of attending a gathering where everyone will ask about your late spouse. You're not avoiding life, you're avoiding the second arrow. You're protecting yourself during a time when you need protection. I knew a man named Robert, 79, whose closest friend died suddenly. They'd met for coffee every Thursday for 23 years. After his friend's death, people kept inviting Robert to join other groups, other coffee gatherings. They meant well. They were trying to help him stay connected. But Robert kept declining. They think I'm isolating, he told me. But the truth is, I'm not ready to replace what I lost. Maybe I never will be. That Thursday morning slot, that's sacred now. That's my time to remember, to sit with what was. Nobody else can fill that space, and I'm tired of pretending they can. That's not depression. That's honoring the depth of what you've lost by refusing to fill the space with noise. Grief rewires what feels safe. After enough loss, you start to realize that every deep connection carries the seed of future pain. That doesn't mean you stop connecting, but it does mean you connect more carefully. You choose people who understand that your heart has been through weather, people who don't ask you to pretend you're unscathed. Your shrinking circle isn't a sign that you're giving up. It's a sign that you're becoming more intentional. You're choosing quality over quantity, depth over breadth, safety over performance. The Buddha taught about metta, loving kindness, but metta begins with yourself. It means offering yourself the same compassion you'd offer to anyone who's survived what you've survived. And part of that self-compassion is knowing when to step back, when to create space, when to say this situation asks more of me than I have to give right now. So if your social world has grown smaller because loss has made you more careful with your heart, that's not failure. That's you finally treating yourself as tenderly as you deserve. That's you honoring the truth that after this much living, this much loving, this much losing, you get to choose very carefully who gets access to your tender places, and there is profound wisdom in that choice. Part 4. Social fatigue becomes deeply real. There's a kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't touch. You can rest for 8 hours and wake up still feeling it, that bone-deep exhaustion that comes not from physical exertion, but from decades of emotional labor, mediating conflicts, smoothing tensions in family gatherings, remembering everyone's birthdays, preferences, sensitivities, carrying other people's problems like stones in your pockets, playing referee, counselor, peacemaker, cheerleader, being the glue that holds everyone together, even when you yourself are coming apart. After 70 years of this, something inside you finally says, I'm tired. Not temporarily tired, not I need a vacation tired, but tired in a way that asks for fundamental change. The Buddha spoke of right effort, one of the essential practices on the path to liberation. But right effort is often misunderstood. People think it means trying harder, pushing through, never giving up, but that's wrong. Right effort means using your life force wisely. It means recognizing that your energy is not unlimited and treating it as the sacred resource it is. At 70, this teaching becomes visceral. Your energy is finite, more finite than it's ever been. Every interaction costs something. Every commitment depletes something. And unlike your younger years when you could run on empty and recover quickly, now when you deplete yourself, the recovery takes days, sometimes weeks. So you start making different choices, not because you're lazy or selfish, but because you're finally practicing wise stewardship of your own life force. Think about the roles you've carried. If you're a woman, you've likely spent decades as the emotional center of your family, the one everyone calls with problems, the one who manages relationships, who remembers to send cards and make calls and check in. If you're a man, perhaps you've been the fixer, the provider, the one who swallows his own needs to meet everyone else's. These roles weren't forced on you exactly. You took them on willingly, often lovingly, but they've extracted a price, and now, finally, you're allowed to set them down. I think of Margaret, 74, who told me, for 40 years I hosted Thanksgiving, 40 years of planning, shopping, cooking, cleaning, managing everyone's dietary restrictions and family drama. Last year, I told my kids I wasn't doing it anymore. They could host, or we could go to a restaurant, but I was done. Her daughter accused her of being selfish. It's one day, Mum, it's tradition. But Margaret held firm. One day, she replied, it's weeks of planning. It's physical exhaustion that takes me a week to recover from. It's managing your brother's tension with your sister while pretending everything's fine. I've given 40 years to this tradition. That's enough. She didn't host Thanksgiving, and she didn't collapse into guilt about it. For the first time in decades, she spent the holiday quietly, peacefully, with just her husband. I didn't realize, she told me later, how much resentment I'd been carrying under all that hospitality. This is what the Buddha meant by releasing burdens that no longer serve your path. It's not about abandoning people you love. It's about acknowledging that you've carried certain loads long enough, that others are capable of carrying them now, that your value isn't measured by how much you sacrifice. Social fatigue at this age isn't a character flaw. It's a message from your body and spirit. You've been giving for a long time. Now you need to receive. And sometimes receiving looks like simply resting in your own company without demands pressing on you. Buddhism teaches about the middle path, not extreme asceticism, not extreme indulgence, but balance. For most of your life, the balance tipped heavily toward others. You gave, served, showed up, sacrificed. Now the middle path might mean tipping back toward yourself. More rest, more solitude, more preservation of your precious remaining energy. And here's the truth. Nobody likes to say out loud. Some relationships are exhausting, not because the person is bad, but because the dynamic requires constant emotional labor from you. The friend who only calls to complain, the family member who stirs drama and expects you to mediate, the social group where you always play a role, the listener, the encourager, the one who keeps things light and never get to simply be. At 70, you finally have permission to step back from those dynamics, not with anger, but with clarity. Your energy is a gift, and you get to choose where it goes. So when you feel guilty for canceling plans, for declining invitations, for choosing rest over obligation, remember this: protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's sacred. It's honoring the life force that's carried you this far and deserves tender care for however many years remain. You've spent enough time being what others needed. Now you get to be what you need. And if what you need is less noise, less crowd, less performance, then less becomes the most generous gift you can give yourself. Part 5. Self-awareness rises to profound levels. Something remarkable happens when you've lived 70 years. You finally know yourself. Not the self you perform for others, not the self you wish you were, but the actual self, with all its quirks, triggers, limits, and needs. You know which conversations will spiral you into anxiety. You know which people drain you and which ones restore you. You know your capacity for noise, for crowds, for small talk. You know how long you can be on before you need to retreat. You know your non-negotiables. This self-knowledge is a gift that only time can give. When you're young, you're still discovering who you are. You try different identities, different social circles, different ways of being. You tolerate things you don't enjoy because you're not sure if the problem is the situation or your own attitude. You push through discomfort because everyone says you should. But at 70, you've gathered enough data. You've been in enough situations to know what works for you and what doesn't. You've ignored your inner voice enough times to know the cost of self-betrayal. You've said yes when you meant no, enough times to recognize that price. And now, finally, you trust yourself enough to listen. The Buddha taught about anatta, the understanding that we are not fixed, permanent selves. We're constantly changing, flowing, evolving. But here's the paradox. You must know yourself deeply before you can let go of clinging to that self. At 70, this wisdom becomes embodied. You've tried being who others wanted you to be. You've performed for approval. You've twisted yourself to fit into spaces that weren't shaped for you. And through all that trying, you've discovered who you actually are, underneath the performance. This self-knowledge manifests in simple, powerful choices. You walk into a loud restaurant and immediately know this won't work for me. You receive an invitation to a party and your body answers before your mind does. A tightening in the chest, a sense of resistance. You're in a conversation that's heading toward gossip, and you recognize the pattern instantly. This is where I step back. These aren't judgments against others, they're acts of self-respect. I remember Elena, 71, describing her awakening to this. "I was at a book club," she said, "and I realized I'd spent the whole evening managing everyone's feelings. Someone dominated the conversation, so I redirected. Two people started arguing, so I found middle ground. Someone's feelings were hurt, so I soothed. I drove home exhausted and thought, why did I do that? Nobody asked me to, I just automatically did it." The next month, she went back and did something radical. She didn't manage anything. When someone dominated, she let them. When an argument started, she stayed quiet. When feelings were hurt, she offered sympathy, but didn't try to fix it. "It was uncomfortable," she admitted, "but I left with energy instead of exhaustion, and the group survived without me playing that role. They worked it out themselves." That's the shift, recognizing the roles you automatically play: the peacemaker, the encourager, the one who makes everyone comfortable, and asking, do I want to keep playing these roles? Sometimes yes, but often no. Buddhism speaks of the empty cup. Before you can receive new wisdom, you must empty yourself of old assumptions. Part of that emptying is releasing outdated ideas about who you should be. You've spent decades being accommodating, flexible, easygoing. Maybe that served you, or maybe it just kept you from being seen. Now you can afford to be less accommodating, not rude, just honest. You can say that doesn't work for me without elaborate explanations. You can decline invitations without guilt. You can leave situations that don't honor your nature. This isn't becoming rigid, it's becoming clear. You know you're an introvert. Honor that. You know loud environments overwhelm you. Avoid them. You know certain topics trigger old pain. You can redirect or excuse yourself. You know you need solitude to recharge. Take it without apologizing. The world will call this picky, difficult, antisocial, but you know better. This is what it looks like to finally live in alignment with your true nature, instead of fighting it. After 70 years of self-discovery, you've earned the right to be authentically, unapologetically yourself. And if that self prefers quiet over noise, few over many, depth over breadth, then that self deserves to be honored. Not someday, not when it's more convenient for others. Now, Part 6. Time becomes your most precious resource. Here's a truth that settles differently at 70 than it did at 30. Time is running out, not in some distant, abstract way, in a real, visceral, arithmetic way. If you're 70, you've lived roughly 25,000 days. How many remain? Maybe 5,000, maybe 3,000, maybe, if you're fortunate and healthy, 7,000. But here's what those numbers mean in practice. You don't have time for everything anymore. You must choose. The Buddha's final words to his disciples were simple: all conditioned things are impermanent. Work out your liberation with diligence. In other words, time is short. Don't waste it. This isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to wake you up. When you're 30, an hour feels infinite. You can spend it scrolling, or in a conversation that goes nowhere, or in an obligation you don't care about, and it feels like no great loss. You have so many more hours coming. At 70, an hour is different. An hour is a percentage of what remains. An hour given to something that depletes you is an hour stolen from something that might nourish you. An hour spent with people you don't actually enjoy is an hour not spent with people you love, or in the quiet solitude that restores you. The mathematics of remaining time changes everything. I watched my father go through this shift. At 65, he still said yes to almost everything: community meetings, distant relatives visiting, social obligations he'd maintained for decades. By 75, his calendar had emptied dramatically. When I asked him about it, he said something I'll never forget. "I did the math. If I live to 85, which would be a good run, I have maybe 3,500 days left, probably less. Do you know how few that feels? Every day I spend doing something I don't care about is a day I'll never get back." At some point, you have to start spending your days like they're worth something. That's not morbid. That's clarity. This is why older people become more selective about how they spend their time, not because they're antisocial, but because they've finally grasped the preciousness of what remains. Would you rather spend 2 hours at a noisy dinner party making small talk, or 2 hours watching the sunset from your porch? Would you rather spend an afternoon at an obligation you don't care about, or an afternoon reading a book that feeds your soul? Would you rather maintain relationships that feel hollow, or invest that energy in the 2 or 3 relationships that truly matter? These aren't hypothetical questions anymore. They're daily choices with real consequences. Buddhism teaches mindfulness of death, not to create fear, but to create presence. When you remember that your time is limited, you stop taking moments for granted. You stop drifting through your days on autopilot. You start asking, is this how I want to spend this hour of my life? Often the answer is no, and that no becomes a radical act of self-love. Think about the hours you've spent in your life doing things you didn't want to do, with people you didn't particularly enjoy, in places that drained rather than nourished you. Thousands of hours, maybe tens of thousands. You can't reclaim those hours, but you can honor them by refusing to sacrifice any more. There's a Zen teaching about a monk who was asked why he spent his days so simply, just meditating, walking, tending a small garden. He replied, "Because I'm not living for quantity anymore. I'm living for quality." 1 hour of true presence is worth more than a week of distraction. At 70, you've earned the right to live for quality, not quality in the materialistic sense, expensive things, impressive experiences, quality in the spiritual sense, depth, presence, authenticity, peace. This means some people will be disappointed when you decline their invitations. Some will accuse you of changing, of becoming difficult, of not being fun anymore. Let them. Their disappointment is not your responsibility. Your time is. It means you might attend fewer gatherings, return fewer calls, maintain fewer friendships, not because you don't care, but because you're finally treating your remaining time as the sacred gift it is. The Buddha taught that we should live each day as if it were our last, because one day will be right. This isn't about paranoia or fear. It's about waking up to the value of now. So when you look at that invitation, that request, that obligation, ask yourself, if I had only 100 days left, would I choose this? If the answer is no, then why are you choosing it now? Your time is not infinite. Your energy is not renewable. Your capacity for tolerating what doesn't serve you has reached its limit. This isn't pessimism. This is the ultimate optimism, believing that your remaining time is valuable enough to protect, precious enough to spend carefully, sacred enough to reserve for what truly matters. And if what truly matters is quieter, simpler, smaller than it once was, then that's exactly what your remaining time should hold. Part 7. The richness of chosen solitude. Let me tell you what nobody talks about. The deep, quiet joy of being alone. Not lonely, alone. There's a morning ritual you might recognize. You wake slowly, no alarm demanding urgency. You make coffee or tea the way you like it. Strong, weak, sweet, bitter, without accommodating anyone else's preferences. You sit in your favorite chair, the one that's shaped itself to your body over years. Maybe you read, maybe you watch birds at the feeder, maybe you do nothing at all, just sit with the morning light and your own thoughts. And in that moment, you feel something many people never experience: complete contentment without another person present. This is not the loneliness the world fears for you. This is something else entirely. The Buddha's final teaching was profound in its simplicity. Be a lamp unto yourself, not isolated from others, but not dependent on them for your inner light. He understood that the deepest peace comes not from external connection, but from being at home in your own presence. For 7 decades, you've been defined by relationships: daughter, son, spouse, parent, friend, employee, colleague. Your identity was always in relation to someone else. But now, perhaps for the first time, you're discovering who you are when nobody's watching. When there's no one to perform for, no one to please, no one's needs to anticipate. And surprisingly, you like this person. The silence you once feared has become your refuge. The solitude you once avoided has become your sanctuary. The empty house that might have felt lonely now feels like freedom. This confuses people. They see you turning down invitations and worry you're depressed. They see you choosing to stay home and fear you're giving up. They don't understand that you're not withdrawing from life. You're finally living it on your own terms. There's a particular richness to chosen solitude that forced socialization can never match. The book you can read without interruption, allowing yourself to sink fully into its world. The hobby you can pursue at your own pace. Gardening, painting, woodworking, knitting, without having to make conversation while you do it. The quiet afternoon where you can follow your own thoughts wherever they lead, without having to articulate them for someone else's consumption. This isn't poverty of experience. This is wealth beyond what most people recognize. I knew a woman, Ruth, 78, who lived alone after her husband passed. Her children kept trying to get her to move to a senior community. You need people around, they insisted, but Ruth resisted. Finally, she told them, I've spent my whole life surrounded by people. I love you, but I've discovered something. I'm very good company for myself. I wake up excited for my days. I never feel bored or lonely. Why would I give this up? Her children didn't understand, but Ruth didn't need them to. She'd found something precious, contentment in her own presence. Buddhism speaks of this as true refuge, not in others, not in circumstances, but in your own awakened awareness. When you can sit alone in a quiet room and feel completely at peace, you've touched something profound. This doesn't mean you never want connection. It means connection becomes a choice rather than a need. You engage with others because you want to, not because you're running from yourself. The morning tea tastes better when you're not rushing to meet someone. The sunset is more vivid when you're not documenting it for others. Your own thoughts are more interesting when you don't have to translate them into acceptable conversation. This is the secret older people discover. There's a whole dimension of richness available in solitude that social butterflies never access. A depth of self-knowledge, a quality of presence, a capacity for simply being that only emerges when you stop filling every moment with people and noise. So when the world worries that you're isolating yourself, they're missing the point entirely. You're not isolating. You're arriving. After 70 years of looking outward, you're finally looking inward. And what you're finding there is not emptiness, but fullness. Not loneliness, but completion. Part 8. What others don't understand, your adult daughter calls, concern threading through her voice. Mom, I'm worried about you. You never go anywhere anymore. You're always alone. Your friend texts, we miss you at book club. Are you okay? Your neighbor mentions casually, haven't seen you out much. Everything all right? They mean well, they care, but they don't understand. They see isolation where you see intention. They see loneliness where you see peace. They see withdrawal where you see finally coming home to yourself. And here's the challenge: explaining this to people who haven't lived it yet is nearly impossible. They hear, "I prefer being alone," and translate it to "I'm depressed." They hear, "I'm not interested in socializing," and hear, "I've given up." They hear, "I'm content with my own company," and wonder what's wrong with their company. Nothing's wrong with them. Something's right with you. The Buddha taught about right understanding, seeing things as they truly are, not through the lens of our projections and fears. Your loved ones see your solitude through the lens of their own fears. What would it mean if I were alone? It would mean I was lonely, unwanted, declining, so they assume the same for you. But your experience is different. You're not alone because no one wants you. You're alone because you're choosing it. You're not isolated because you're incapable of connection. You're selective because you've learned the cost of shallow connection. This distinction matters immensely, but it's invisible to those who haven't learned it yet. So what do you do with their worry? First, extend them metta loving kindness. They worry because they love you. They're projecting their fears because they care. That's not a burden. It's a blessing, even if it's frustrating. Second, you can try to explain gently. I appreciate your concern, but I'm not lonely. I'm peaceful. I'm not avoiding life. I'm finally living it the way that fits me. I'm not depressed. I'm content. Some will hear you. Many won't, and that's okay. Third, and this is perhaps most important, you don't need their understanding to continue living authentically. Their discomfort with your choices is theirs to manage, not yours to fix. There's a deeper layer here that's even harder for others to grasp. The sensory overwhelm is real. Loud restaurants don't just annoy you, they actually hurt. Crowded spaces don't just tire you, they deplete you for days. Multiple conversations happening at once don't just distract you, they fragment you. Your nervous system has changed. What you could tolerate at 40 feels unbearable at 70. This isn't weakness, it's your body asking for what it needs. Also, your identity has shifted. You're no longer mom with kids at home, or career person with important title. Those roles that anchored your social identity have faded, and sometimes other people's inability to see you beyond those old roles makes their company exhausting. They keep relating to who you were, not who you are. So you choose distance, not because you're antisocial, but because you're finally prioritizing authenticity over performance. The Buddha never required his students to make everyone comfortable with their path. He only required they walk it honestly. So walk yours. Let others worry if they need to. Let them misunderstand if they must. You've spent enough years managing other people's perceptions of you. Now you get to simply be, regardless of whether they comprehend it. That's not cruelty, that's liberation. So let's return to that Sunday morning. The phone, the invitation, that quiet resistance rising in your chest. Now you understand what it means. It's not depression, it's not bitterness, it's not even about the people who invited you. It's your soul, after 70 years of navigating the world's noise, finally asking for what it needs. Quiet, space, freedom, to be yourself without performance. Time spent in ways that actually nourish rather than deplete. This is wisdom, not withdrawal. The Buddha taught that true freedom comes from releasing what no longer serves you. For most of your life, constant social connection served you. It helped you build a career, raise a family, create a life. But now it doesn't. Now what serves you is something quieter, smaller, more intentional, and you're allowed to change. You're allowed to want different things at 70 than you did at 30. You're allowed to prefer your own company. You're allowed to choose silence over noise, solitude over crowds, depth over breadth. In Buddhist understanding, the later years are not about fading into the background. They're about finally stepping into focus. After decades of accommodating, performing, and stretching yourself to fit other people's expectations, you're finally becoming the truest version of yourself. And that version, it's quieter, more selective, more at peace. Your shrinking social circle is not a tragedy. It's a refinement. You're not losing connection. You're concentrating it. You're not becoming less. You're becoming more yourself. So the next time someone worries that you're isolated, remember they're measuring your life by their standards, not yours. They're projecting their fears onto your peace. You know the truth. You're not lonely. You're liberated. You're not avoiding people. You're choosing yourself. You're not withdrawing from life. You're finally, after 70 years, living it on your own terms. And that, dear friend, is not loneliness. That's wisdom. If this reflection touched something true in you, I invite you to share your experience in the comments below. How has your relationship with solitude changed as you've aged? What have you discovered in the quiet that you never found in the crowd? And if these reflections serve you, consider joining our journey. I create these contemplations weekly, exploring the wisdom of aging through a Buddhist lens. Until next time, may you walk gently. May you choose wisely. May you honor the sacred truth that sometimes the deepest connection we can make is with the peace that lives within our own hearts.